You know, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat, and he was not. What he could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
You know, to stay humble. Stay humble. It's one for the office. Sorry, in the middle.
So I may do another exhibition this year.
Which one?
What do you think of that, Floyd?
I think Pacquiao, he chose a hell of a fighter. Shit, we got so many fighters at PBC.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are gearing up for a highly anticipated showdown around the Cinco de Mayo weekend. However, for Crawford, the challenge goes beyond facing his formidable Mexican opponent. He also has to contend with the loud voices of his critics. While Crawford is no stranger to doubt, this time the skepticism is stronger than ever, and that includes the incredible controversy surrounding the conclusion of the fight. Clearly, there is no lack of focus or intention. He is fully dedicated to facing the formidable Mexican champion. Crawford has always been able to deal with doubt, but this time, the scrutiny is intense.
This mindset, after being the first guy to beat Canelo Alvarez, thoughts on a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. I had people that stated that they feel like that Floyd Mayweather would essentially hate on the situation.
Hold me back. You'll fight Eddie. You fucking stuff. Oh, you fuckers. He said, oh, you fuckers.
Crawford, despite his accomplishments, is again facing heavy skepticism. Many boxing professionals are urging him not to jeopardize his undefeated record, warning that stepping into the ring against Canelo could result in his first career loss. While Crawford has proven himself time and again, the challenge he faces against a fighter of Canelo's caliber is immense.
He went on the ring with Teddy Atlas.
What's that mean?
He said you're the most overrated Mexican champion in history. He said that Salvador Sanchez and
boxeador mexicano.
Más popular,
pero sin causa. Sí.
Fucking crazy, that guy. and you think he knows boxing? Fuck.
Fight that's been discussed by a lot of us and by a lot of people in the sport for quite a while. Certainly it's a fight that Turki Al-Sheikh from Saudi Arabia has shown a lot of interest in. And of course, if it's going to get made, someone's going to have to put up a lot of guaranteed money. And he's probably the person that's going to do it. He's obviously been working closely with Terence Crawford. He was involved with the Terence Crawford's last fight that took place in August when he fought Israel.
Roy Jones, one of the most dominant boxers of his era, continues to stay deeply involved in the careers of today's rising stars. Among them, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez shine as two of the best pound-for-pound fighters of this generation. The prospect of a potential clash between these two has sparked excitement and captured the imagination of boxing fans worldwide. It looks like Roy Jones is ready to see this fight unfold and is eagerly anticipating it.
Tough, but Bud Crawford shows once again why he's the #1 pound for pound on many people's lists, including my own. I don't think it was going into this fight was a question of whether Bud was going to win this fight. It was a matter of, he's about 35. He's had a 13-month layoff. Usually things start to, fighters start to look a little bit more ordinary when these circumstances start to present themselves. So we wanted to see if Crawford, how he was looking under the current circumstances and if there was any signs of aging. I think Avanesian really, fought as good a fight as he can fight. Listen, this is a durable guy. He stays in your face. You can see why he upsets certain people because he knows how to mentally stress you by and also physically stress you by staying in your face like that, cutting off the ring and forcing you to work when you.
Terence Crawford, a 4-division world champion, has expressed interest in taking on Canelo Alvarez, the reigning super middleweight king. However, the significant weight difference between the two presents a major challenge for the American fighter. This weight disparity could be a deciding factor in the outcome of the fight.
not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford against Matvedorf, people are going to say, "Oh, he had some hiccups." Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Matvedorf was a little difficult to eat. He's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right.
In an interview with Mill City Boxing, Roy Jones Jr. shared his thoughts on the hypothetical clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. While he praised Crawford's exceptional talent and skills, the legendary boxer leaned towards Canelo as the favorite. "I like Terence, but I'm going to lean towards Canelo early because of his size," Jones said. However, if he lets Terence get into the fight, Terence is going to be a problem. If Terence can handle the size difference, he'll beat him. Jones also highlighted the importance of Canelo's punching power, emphasizing it as a decisive factor in the outcome of the fight. "In a fight, you just have to trust that person in the ring. You don't have time to lose," Jones added. If Canelo lets Terence get into the fight, Terence might win. "But I like to start with Canelo right off the bat."
23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts. And the world said he was inexperienced. I was 36 with 40-something fights. And to tell you the truth,
"That's the thing," Jones Jr. explained. "We won't know until we see Terence get hit because we haven't seen him take that kind of power. That's the deciding factor. If you can disrupt Bud's fight plan by hurting him, you've got a chance to beat him. But if you can't hurt him, you can't change his plan, and you're in trouble." This analysis highlights Crawford's need to neutralize Canelo's renowned power. If Crawford can rely on his technical boxing skills and effectively avoid Canelo's devastating punches, he could potentially pull off a historic upset. While the possibility of a Canelo vs. Crawford fight remains a dream scenario for fans, Canelo Alvarez is currently focused on preparing for his next opponent.
Fíjate, pam, 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 hun, 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 pam, Cacho. Hun, 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 Digo, hun, 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 eso. Eso.
International Boxing Federation interim champion William Skull has recently been mentioned as a potential opponent. However, this wasn't always the focus for Roy Jones Jr., the Hall of Famer now serving as a promoter, trainer, and respected analyst. He had previously shared scenarios where he believed both Terence Crawford and David Benavidez could defeat Canelo Alvarez before revising his stance. Speaking about Benavidez, Jones acknowledged the complexity of the matchup. "It's a tough fight to call because Benavidez throws a lot of punches," Jones said in an interview with BoxingScene.com. "Sometimes power can intervene and change the situation."
In front of Canelo, and Canelo's just whiffing. It was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing. That's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time, power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys.
The problem is whether Canelo is willing to take the risk, Jones remarked. I don't think he will right now because I don't believe he feels he has a reason to. If he can't hurt Benavidez early in the first 3 or 4 rounds, I don't see him winning that fight. David Benavidez, a 2-time 168-pound titleist, has been pushing for a showdown with Alvarez for over 2 years. At the same time, Terence Crawford, formerly recognized as the best welterweight in the world, has expressed his willingness to move up 2 weight classes for a chance to face the Mexican star. However, Alvarez remains skeptical about the significance of a victory over Crawford, claiming it would add little to his legacy. Despite this, many believe Crawford has a genuine shot at pulling off the upset.
I'm saying at once.
Right.
I'm saying I started at 135. I'm just saying, like, say if Canelo was the champion at 147 to go up 168.
Right in one jump.
Yeah, in one jump.
It's a big jump too. 21 pounds. It's a lot of weight.
If anyone can pull it off, it's Crawford. You can't tell him no, said Jones. I was the kind of guy who, if someone claimed they were better than me and I could get close to their weight, here I come. I gave John Ruiz 33 pounds when I won the heavyweight title in 2003. I didn't care. I wanted to prove I was pound for pound the best and do something historic that had never been done. That's probably how Bud feels right now. He wants to achieve something historic to cement his legacy in boxing. Who wouldn't want to see the pound for pound best from yesterday face the pound for pound best of today? It's a mega fight. If Bud puts on the muscle and the weight, how can you doubt him? One thing is certain, he's not just going out there to collect a paycheck. He'll step into that ring to win because that's who Bud is. If he carries the weight well, it'll be a great fight. He can box like Floyd Mayweather, but he can also fight. He hits without getting hit. If he can handle the power at that weight, there's a good chance he wins the fight.
He is the hardest, for sure. One of the fighters that hit very hard was Angulo. You know, he's a Cuban guy, and he punched very hard too. So I'll say both of them are like the same, but, you know, with Canelo, I was just mentally ready for his shots. You know, I already told myself, I know I'm gonna get hit. I know I'm gonna get hit on my chin, but it's, you know, I gotta bite down on my mouthpiece and push. You know, and look what happened in the 3rd round. I got hit with a left hook. We'd be practicing in camp the whole time, you know, keeping my right hand to my chin, and I wound up just moving, and he connected right on my chin. And you see how I punched my glove. You know, that's like a thing for me when my last time when I got dropped, I was punching my gloves. 'Cause I'm like, damn, I got hit with a shot. I'm not supposed to be on the floor. But, you know, it comes to boxing. You know, the greats done got dropped, you know, got hurt. But it's about how you come back and respond.
And go crazy with Canelo. Oh, he's too big. He's a good night for Crawford. He's going to bed. All that stuff. Not so fast. Not so fast. Don't forget that the other guy is bringing something to the party too. And he's bringing the things that hopefully I just described to you guys in the best way I can. When it gets closer, we'll get more thorough with it. But right now, I think you know where I'm leaning. And I'll make it even clearer where I'm leaving. So there isn't a lot of suspense. I ain't going against Crawford, okay? I do think he's that special guy. I think Canelo's special too, but I think Crawford's special in a little bit, even more so. Even more so. He hasn't learned how to lose yet. I think he does have those special ingredients that go beyond the physical genetics, the physical DNA. So that's it, okay? Good. You don't like it? Too bad.
I think that was a fair breakdown. I mean, listen, those ingredients you're touching on with the smaller man are the same ingredients you saw in Usyk. Abilities and ways to find a way to win.
I'd like to know what the weight's at in this fight, but has that been figured out yet? Probably not, because
No.
that to me is a very...
Jones, a 4-division title holder who frequently fluctuated in weight during the latter half of his career, believes Canelo Alvarez should focus on staying at super middleweight. It's definitely best for Alvarez to stay at 168, Jones said. Before long, though, I didn't understand why he went up to 175 to fight Dmitry Bivol in the first place. He had already beaten Sergey Kovalev, who was at the end of his career. Bivol, on the other hand, is in his prime. They are two completely different animals. He got Kovalev at the right time. Canelo should go back down and dominate his division. Don't try to take on another challenge like that because lightning isn't going to strike twice. Meanwhile, former two-time world champion Andre Ward has also shared his thoughts on the potential super fight between Saul, Canelo, Alvarez and Terence Crawford, adding more intrigue to the ongoing discussions.
Vegas for Fight Up TV, powered by Stage Front VIP, being joined here with Teddy Atlas. Teddy, I got to get just right to it. Terence Crawford wanting to move up 3 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez. You as a trainer, what's your insight on that? And I don't know, would you advise a fighter to move up 3 weight classes to fight someone like Canelo?
You got to remember, he's already moved up 3 weight classes. So now you're talking 6, if you add on 3. You know? Yeah, my math is different than yours, being that I've been in this business my whole life. So 6 is a lot. 6 weight classes. That's a lot. 3, you know, he had the skeleton for it. Does he have the skeleton to go up 6? I don't know that he does, but I know he's got this. I know he's got this. I know he's got the character, and I know he's got the mind. I know he has special...
Terence, but Crawford has had his sights set on Canelo Alvarez ever since delivering a career-defining performance against welterweight rival Errol Spence Jr. last year. While Canelo initially dismissed the idea of a fight, he recently revealed that he would consider defending his super middleweight titles against the naturally smaller Crawford if the financial incentive was compelling enough. Speaking on the All the Smoke podcast, former undefeated champion Andre Ward, who retired with a flawless 32-0 record, shared his thoughts on the most intriguing matchups in boxing. I want to see Canelo fight either Terence Crawford or David Benavidez, Ward said. You've got 2 options, you can face someone in your weight class or you can take on the smaller guy, Terence Crawford.
A few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, you know, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. You know, he's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just, you know, just like to, you know, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you know, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him test himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you know, you never know in boxing.